College is one of the most expensive things someone will have to pay for in their lifetime. Even with assistance during schooling, some people are paying way too much each month in student loans once they are finished. For the 2014 through 2015 academic year, average annual current dollar prices for undergraduate tuition, fees, room and board were estimated to be just a little bit over $16,000 at public institutions, a little over 41,000 at private nonprofit institutions, and just a little over 23,000 at private for-profit institutions. Between 2014 or between 2004, 2005 and 2014, 2015, prices for undergraduate tuition fees, room and board at public institutions rose 33%, and prices at private nonprofit institutions rose 26% after adjustment for inflation. The price for undergraduate tuition, fees, room, and board at private for profit institutions decreased 18% between 2004, 2005, and 2014, 2015 after adjustment for inflation. There's no reason that so many people should be paying so much for advanced learning. I believe that there must be some type of way to make school not so expensive for everybody. I know that we can't make school free, but I feel like it shouldn't be as much as it is. How is $65,000 to $168,000 reasonable money for schooling for 4 years? It's outrageous. Colleges should start offering more online classes and hybrid classes to their students. The teacher would still be getting paid to teach a class, but the students would not be physically at the school using their resources as much. This would help cut down on some expenses for the school. Also, I believe that students should start out at community colleges for their first 2 years, and it would improve their debt they will incur over the course of obtaining their degree. The average annual cost at a 2 year college is just under $3,000, according to the College Board. Assuming you complete 60 credits or 2 years of required classes at a community college, you'll save anywhere from $12,000 to $66,000, depending at what other university or private college you would have attended for all 4 years. In the case of what the student is responsible to pay, should be mostly paid for using government-funded money. School and education is critical for us to sustain a stable world. People need to be educated and should be able to get it without money being the number one thing to stop them from going to college. The price of college realistically can't be completely free on our part, though. The breakdown for government funding as of right now for the state of Connecticut is as follows. We are funded about $9.5 billion for the state, but our students individually are allotted just over $5,000 after paying the teachers, administrators, etc. The students don't even receive half of what is given to each state. This is why a lot of teachers end up spending their own money just to make sure that their classrooms are supplied correctly, as well as asking parents of the students in the classrooms to obtain and gather whatever materials they may need for the school year. This is just wrong. Education is important, and we as a country need to act like it, and we need to take action. When President Obama was in office, he had a nice plan that he wanted to take on, which didn't occur, and I fully support it. We need to have more funding for education, especially college education, and we need to have incentive for the students to do well, to continue to get the access to the funding to make college cheaper for themselves in the end. In February 2015, Obama gave the idea of having community college be debt-free for students who were at least part-time and obtained at least a minimum grade point average of 2.5, if not higher. Senator Warren agreed, saying that our economy cannot flourish if we don't have enough college educated workers, but our economy will stagnate if students take on bigger and bigger debt loads to finish college. This is where it needs to change. Community college should be funded to make the classes free. Students can begin their college careers at the community college, taking their basic classes of math, English, sciences if needed. Then all the credits should be able to transfer to other colleges for students to go to the other universities. Right now, not all colleges accept other colleges' credits, which is awful because some people end up taking certain classes multiple times if they're switching schools. With Pell Grants and scholarships, students can still get some financial help with their continued schooling after the 2 years at a community college. This would greatly help. Students have good incentive to keep doing well in their studies, to get their first 2 years paid for fully before starting to go into debt. The first 2 years would help save people upwards of $32,000, cutting a huge chunk off their debt. Therefore, the last 2 years of what would be paid for, costing between roughly $36,000 and $84,000, averaging at most $21,000. The average after 2 years at a community college for free. The Basically after that, the 2 years would average to about $21,000 per year that they've been in school. This is much more obtainable for people in the long run. Education is the backbone of our future. We need smart, educated people to run this world, and with people not being able to afford schooling, a lot of these people who could make huge changes to the future and are deterred from trying because of the cost. But with more funding from our government and incentive to do well to get that funding, I believe more people will take the option of a college education. Honestly, wishful thinking on my part, I honestly don't think it will ever happen because the government only keeps cutting education costs each year. This is wrong and only hurting our children's future. We need the proper help from the government to make sure people are getting the education they deserve, not just the bare minimum.